Hello guys, welcome back to Path of Nostalgia, Roobarb. A 70s classic, everyone says, and it is really. 2D animation, follows the adventures of a dog called Roobarb, who's like a greenish type hound dog, really. Has some strange misadventures in his own backyard, in his own little neighbourhood. You've also got a character like a cat called Custard, pink cat, who basically just is a layabout, but also laughs at Rhubarb's embarrassing moments as well. You know, like when he does something goes wrong, always the first one to just spread laughter and think it's hilarious. So this series came out in about, I would say like the early mid 70s, 73, 74, something like that. With the help of a guy called Bob Guthrie. Bob Guthrie, who some people probably know. I did a show of his a while back in the original run of Path of Nostalgia. I think in like 2018, or 17. Henry's Cat. So that was one that he was sold, and again, one that I sort of known about as well, but not as much as Rhubarb, really. But, you know, it's sort of, again, a similar thing, really. You know, similar type of style, in terms of, like, animation, really. Different narrators. I think Bob Guthrie takes on the narrator in Henry's Cat, whereas Rhubarb, we have Richard Breers. Well-known British actor, of course. Richard Briers, I think he's known as. So he takes on narrating duties, which is actually pretty good. Actually, you know, it gives it has a semi-youthfulness it does to Rhubarb's character as well. Interestingly, the theme song's great. I think that's done by a girl Johnny Hawks something. Johnny Hawk something. I think it's trying to think of the name now. Really good. Very it's obviously of its time. Very 70s. Very sort of Mans with the Bra Band, the Crunch by the Bra Band. Very sort of like that sort of electronic sort of pounding sort of music really of that time. Again, it's really good theme actually. So I first came across Rhubarb many years ago when it was during the time when I was watching Mr. Ben, Danger Mouse, the Wombles, Clangers to some extent as well. Yeah, this came from that little Twilight period, of course. That you know, when you enter the Twilight Zone, this was another show that I actually saw at the time. I thought it was really good. I really enjoyed it. I did. My mum not so well, because she obviously knew for the 70s, of course, and she just hated it really. You know, she looked at it and think, not one of the best. You know, I remember that. It's one of the that show's terrible. But I saw it. I enjoyed it. I did. Wasn't until years later that its sequel series came out, which was Rhubarb Custard 2, I think it was. This is like 2000. This was. Let me say briefly on Sky when we had Sky. That used to be appeared on a few times actually, and like around Cartoon Network. So it's sort of syndication, really. Some people probably correct down below what the actual channel is, but there we go. Again, it sort of retains the look of Rhubarb, of course, the same colours, everything else. Probably a different narrator as well. I'm not entirely sure on that front, really. But it was, you know, it did successfully well. Like it was quite well known. I think everyone sort of probably know Rhubarb and Custard 2 as the one actually, but I did sort of remember fondly of the original series back in the day, because I saw on television repeats back in the day, like during night time actually. So you're talking late night television. You know, like pre-Warshed era, really, on that one. You know, the showcase all 70s classics during the night time, of course. Really, that can keep, I don't know, just, you know, keeps the children happy for a while, for a couple of hours, and then nods to sleep, or keeps the adults entertained. I don't know, like during the time, or people who get stoned or something and end up, you know, like you go on this weird little trip they do. It's like that actually. It's like walking to a pit of strange weirdness, very much like some off the wall type stuff. And you think, goodness me, you know, for about 2 hours, it's like you're falling deep into an abyss or something. Really, a bit of a weird thing, really, to say, really, to describe some shows at the time that I remember seeing. But it's a really good, nice little show. Rhubarb did appear actually. I never actually mentioned this at all actually, which is the Children Need single from 2009, of course, which was BAK's animated all-star band. That, you know, of course, you have stuff like, again, the Wombles, Pennington, Puss and Pat, Wooden Tops as well, interestingly, Rainbow as well. Yeah, quite a lot of, again, a mixture of old and new, really. And it was really good, actually, very successful. Shame they didn't do that anymore, really. Like, you know, did like a 10th anniversary of that. That would have been interesting. Or maybe just use different characters or whatever. You know, make an updated version, or go way back to the beginning, like with a lot of older ones you haven't seen for years. You think it's like a who's who. You think, blimey, I haven't seen that since 1995 or whatever. So that's one idea. Excuse me. But they're good. They only had like a 5-second cameo, very much, you know, on a screen, very much, like the inserting green screens and stuff, and that's, you know, it's like little animated sell of it, really. But again, it's nice that they sort of, again, you know, sort of get notified as well. Also, same with Roobarb and Custer, they appear in the, what was it, the BBC Children's Generations advert from 98. Apparently that's meant to be like a trilogy there. It's like to do with, because in 97 you had the Perfect Day single with various artists like Dr. John, David Bowie, Lou Reed, Elton John, Branderson from Suede, all that sort of stuff. Then this one, which little kid called Sean, goes around in an old schoolboy's uniform, you know, with blazer and shorts on, goes around different various decades of BBC television, well, children's television actually, and that's, again, pretty good. Very imaginative stuff actually, so it's, again, pretty well done. Nice bit of love to various aspects of the TV shows, of course, which is very nice. And very out there as well. They don't do that. They sort of do some interesting things with adverts, really. And obviously, Roobarb and Custer do appear in an animated segment, like involving like Crystal Tips and Alistair, Mr. Ben, you know, Spider as well, where you see Roobarb in a tree somewhere, actually, and then the theme's playing. So it's quite, again, pretty interesting, actually. They're sort of, again, notified as well-known characters at this point. You know, like, you think of 70s television, you think of Roobarb, you do. You think Mr. Ben, you think of the Wombles, you think of all sorts of stuff, you do. You know, and this whole, again, well known, really, at that time, which is good. I've got nothing else to say about Roobarb now, so there you go. Thank you guys for watching. As always, see you for the next video, and I'll see you later.